Oh, he's got a nice little crown there. Look at that. It's the same as my crown. You copied me. It is. Well, actually, is it? Is it actually the same? No. They're different. They're a little different, I think. No. It's just our colour hair. Okay, yes, the colour of our hair. That's why it looks slightly different. Other than that, it's exactly the same, yeah. Keep the same crown as well. Yes, we should probably deal with these slave rebels. Shouldn't slavery be abolished in Pentos? Why did I not do this? Slavery is illegal. Okay. Faith authority is low. I've never even raised the realm. Let's raise the realm authority, yeah. Might as well. The crown. Look at the crown loyalists. Look at that. Never even bothered to actually change any laws. We never actually needed to. 262,000 men. We could destroy the world. We could. And I would, but I'm not going to. And looks like he's going to take care of those slave rebels. So that's fine. We're fine. Volantis is in trouble right now. It's being attacked by Lower Crown Authority and Roller Revolt. Why is there a Roller Revolt? Shouldn't they be of that faith? Oh, Valerian. Really? Huh. The leaders are Valerian? Is that all of them? No, just that one. This one's favoured by Roller. Ah. Kirinese. Assuming clear he had rather unorthodox views. For the crown. I was shaken with rage at the heretic's blasphemous words when High Septon took the opportunity to whisper good work. Of course he would say good work. What happened to that dragon? There he is. He's still on his host. I want to ride him. I don't want an eye patch. Even his other son, who's possessed and a lunatic. What happened to this family? This family is just insane. Like, literally, this guy's, a hunchback, disfigured, dishonorable, cruel. This guy's a lunatic and a hunchback. This guy's a hunchback, a lunatic, and possessed. How have they all got hunchback? She got dwarf. His other sister got dwarf, and the first one got hunchback. Is this something about being in, like, Valeria? Because I know they're here in Mantaries. So, is being there, does that give you more likely to get... Yeah, he's got lunatic. Club-footed. It seems like all of them have problems. Could be possible. But Volantis, yeah, is crumbling apart at the moment. Oh no, it's not. I thought this was part of it. I just realised it's part of the Dothraki Sea. So it's not actually a part of it. Okay, Ogo has fallen apart. He's lost half of his Kalasar to a man called Jimid. And that's what they're fighting. Oh, this is a different guy. He's taking over someone else's part. Quoro. Okay. A new hand of the king. I did not even notice. I guess I could make it my son. Though Hubert Rolandford would be better. 12 and 20. That's probably a better choice. But really right now I'm just playing till he dies. 64. Are we going to make it further than my father? Bennett Frey is actually next in line. Okay. She's still... No, she's not going to have any sons, I don't think. 37 now. Ah, but her sister has been disinherited, it looks like. Then she married normally to a Martell. Okay. Huh. It's for my own good. Leave me alone, yeah. My guy's, slothful and stuff. He doesn't want to get involved. He's doing too much work. King Beyond the Wall is still about the same. It'd be cool to kind of see one of these Turncloaks turn to become king beyond the wall. I've been reading this 7 point at the start, and it claims that death is not something a true believer should be afraid of. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Never in our history has House Baratheon ever accepted defeat. During God's grief raised Storm's End to defy the gods themselves. Always Baratheon came from nothing to take the Stormlands for his own. The stag will fly over our lands once more. Ours is the fury. Oh, the Martells inherited. How did that happen? So it's like she inherited somehow? Okay. So now the Martells have become pretty powerful. The Martells have Dawn. They also have the Stormlands. And it looks like they're going to get Riverrun, possibly. Yeah. Huh. He's done pretty well for himself. And that's the son of the Man of Dawn. His heir as well. So his heir will also have Dawn. Okay. But we still have the Reach. The Baratheons still have the Reach, and we still have Pentos. So we still have the upper hand on the Martells. Branded a traitor. I don't want you to be regent. Okay. The Lannisters have been pretty peaceful, actually. They've been good people so far. No conniving, no taking, no nothing really. That's actually one thing that's always annoyed me with a lot of people when they talk about the TV shows and books. They kind of like set certain traits to certain families, which always blows my mind. Like the whole thing, like, oh well, Starks are honourable and Lannisters are, you know, dishonourable. And it's like, no. That's not how it works. You know, that's not how genetics works. There's that whole idea, you know, like father, like son. It's not exactly true. You might get similar things like your parents because obviously they, you know, teach you. You know, the reason that Robb Stark is honourable is because his father taught him to be honourable. But it doesn't mean Starks have to be honourable. And throughout the history of each of the families, there have been many different people. It just so happens to be the families at this point are like this. But throughout the history, we've had many different ones. Like, obviously, the Lannisters have had weak ones. Like, Tywin's own father was really weak and had no mind for intrigue. It's completely different. There were some Starks that were completely bloodthirsty. Kragan. Which one was the Stark that sailed across to fight the Andals? I cannot remember his name. Maybe his name was Kragan. I know there's one really cool Kragan. Emma Baratheon. Ah. So I guess not to you. Emma Baratheon. John, yeah. My niece. Okay, we'll travel to the wedding. But I always hate how people like correlate families to certain traits and if they're good or bad. I don't get that. You know, people are just people. If some people are good, some people are bad. You know, people change. And just because the Starks are nice and lovely people now doesn't mean they've always been nice and happy people now. Yeah. Especially the thing about Northerners versus Southerners. Are Northerners better? You're falling for basically the kind of stereotypes of these people, like how they see each other. We're kind of falling for that because we're seeing it from their point of view. And people seem to forget that, I feel. Going for command. It's just like the stereotypes we have in real life, to be honest. And obviously, yeah, some of those stereotypes actually in real life are slightly true, I must admit. It is slightly true that, you know, Chinese do like to gamble. I know that sounds like a dick thing to say. I think stereotypes are probably one of the worst things in the world. But that one actually is true. I don't know why. It just happens to be whenever you go into a casino, there are always lots of Chinese people there. During the day when no one else is there. And if you go to China, people aren't actually allowed to gamble, which kind of makes it even more interesting. But I digress. That's just my opinion about it. I could be completely wrong. You guys could think differently on this, but that's my point of view on this stuff. Oh, Talos looks a bit bigger than normal. Huh, maybe it's not. But yeah, some things when I read some stuff, people kind of think like genetics in this world works kind of differently and stuff. And that kind of annoys me. You know, it's like going on about, you know, this is why I never see the point in trying to take a family side. A lot of people, when they watch these and read these, go like, oh, I love the Targaryens, or I love the Baratheons. And I don't get it. I like people, not families. Because obviously families are just a construct of blood. They're not actually, not all Targaryens were nice or great. Some Targaryens were amazing, but not all were. I don't get this idea of that, you like the Targaryens or you like the Baratheons or like the Starks or whatnot. In fact, actually, I guess for me as well, I'm one of those people who normally hates things people like. I don't know why. That really buggers me. Such as the Starks. I've never been actually that overly fond of the Starks. I don't know why. A lot of the Stark children actually I find kind of boring. Such as yes, all of them stand down. But like the Bran storyline, I've never been that good. I'm sorry, I've never been that interested in. It's never something that's actually really interested me. I don't know why. Every time we get to one of his parts of the story, I'd always be like, yeah, oh, it's Bran's. I'm talking about reading the book more than the TV show. In the TV show, I guess it's still about the same, really. Same with Arya, actually. I don't know why. A lot of people love Arya, but I found, especially after the 4th book, I guess actually she wasn't in the 4th book. She was in the 5th book. She wasn't in the 4th book. Because he split that one. But yeah, I just found her not that interesting anymore. I don't know. And even before that, I still didn't find her parts that interesting. The only part I loved about hers was when she was with the Brotherhood Without Banners. That's the only part I found it interesting. So I never really liked her parts. We didn't get a point of view from Robb Stark. I like Robb Stark. We don't really see Rickon. Jon Snow, sadly, actually, I've never been the biggest fan of Jon Snow. I know for most people he's the favourite, and he feels like he's the hero. Like he's that kind of like character-wise, he feels like he should probably be the hero in the end. If I had to take a guess, I would guess him. You probably guess him, Daenerys or Tyrion. I'd probably go Jon Snow if I had to make a choice who will end up being the hero. But I actually find him slightly boring. His character, his thoughts in the book. Obviously in TV show you don't get that, but in the books I find a lot of his thoughts are kind of like, why would you do that? Or, I don't know. And it's not why I say why would you do that. I mean, some of the things he thinks and then does. And it's not about choices. I think he makes good choices. It's the way he communicates with people. He was really bad with communicating to the other people around him. And that kind of bit him in the ass sometimes. As anyone who's read the books knows. So I always hated that about him. I just found like, can't you see the writing on the wall? He's one of those people who can never see the writing on the wall. Which is kind of a shame because his heart's in the right place. He's that guy who's like, he doesn't see colour, culture. He goes, these people are just people. They're like us, but they just live on a different side of a wall. And I get that. And I get the justice and I get that. But he's really terrible at trying to get that point across. He's not a debater. If he was a bit more like Tyrion, if Tyrion was there with him, Tyrion could probably convince them. Then again, actually, people don't seem to be very convinced by him. If his trial's anything to go by. I don't know, that's how I feel about a lot of the Stark children. Actually, Sansa, I really hate her character, but I really enjoy her points of view in the book. Because she was always with the most interesting people. Must be said. I send her to the Lord Commander. She was always with the most interesting people. She was in King's Landing. She was with Littlefinger. She was, with Joffrey. He's just a complete maniac. Sedontos. I really loved that storyline with Sedontos. Sadly, in the TV show, they cut that really short. It's like 2 episodes. In the book, it's like over a whole book. And I really loved that storyline. Because you're never sure what to think about him. You don't know if he's actually wants to be a hero or if he's not. And I really like the way they did that in the books. Because he's kind of like drunk all the time. So you kind of feel sorry for him. And it kind of feels like he is like her hero. Because when no one else would be. I don't know. And in the TV show they didn't have that. Which kind of made it a bit meh. I missed that part. I generally like small characters a lot. That's my problem, like I said. Because I don't normally like the big characters that everyone loves. I normally like the smaller side characters like Ed Delirious, Edison Tollett, if you don't know. from the Night's Watch. Renly. I don't know why I always found Renly an interesting character, even though a lot of people hate him. Which I always find hilarious that, you know, a lot of people will complain about the people in this world because they're set in medieval times, that they'll complain about, you know, like... I think a lot of people complain about Randall Tarly because Randall Tarly, you know, hates women. I guess actually there's a lot of reasons to hate him. But there's certain things about, like, you know, hating women on this, and people go... That other people say, oh, well, you know, you must remember it's from their time. Times here were different. And then you have things like... what was I actually talking about? I forgot what I was talking about. God damn it. Who was I talking about? Oh my god, that just completely left my head. It was like in my head and just left out the other ear. But yeah, I was talking about how people view people's choices or characters. And like I say, a lot of things I've said actually so far, don't take completely. I'm kind of like blathering on about stuff and thoughts. These aren't really coherent. A lot of the ideas and principles, and I'm not really back them up very well. But it's just my thoughts on a lot of things, such as... and I can't really go into too much as well, because obviously I've read the books, which makes it a bit different. You know, for people who haven't read the books, I don't want to ruin that for you. Or the TV show, obviously. But looking forward to the TV show coming back. That will come back soon, actually. Okay. I find a lot of people complain about the fact that the TV show will finish before the books. I'm sure I heard when the TV show first came out that they were planning to diverge the storyline of the TV show because they knew this would happen. I don't know why people are surprised. I kind of knew this all along. I thought that was a given. He would not finish. But apparently for a lot of people it's a surprise. It's all over the news. I don't know. It's on Reddit. It's on the news. It's like, really? Is this news? It won't be out by 2015, you know? The guy who takes like 6 years to write one book. And like another 5 after that, I think it was. I don't know how long it was. Luckily for me and for a lot of people, you know, I got into the books after that. So I didn't have to wait so long. And I think that's part of the problem as well. A lot of people come into it, like me, and we're expecting new books, and we want to know what happens. And people just want more. And I think that's kind of the sad thing. People want more and are demanding because they love his story. And they want to know more. It's kind of a shame. You want to be regent? No, you're not good enough. I'm trying to remember who I was talking about now. I was talking about Tarly. People say like Tarly's a bad man because of the time he lived in and because his opinions on women, which are, you know, kind of slightly true. God damn it. Okay, I was thinking of small characters I like. I like Edison Tollett. I feel like it was someone down south. I really can't... I really liked Theon. Theon was actually... And funnily enough, Theon was actually one of my favourite characters from the beginning. Which I never hear. Most people say they like... Gawain died. The Bassett and his daughter became... Okay. Yeah, so most people usually like Theon after... So if you guys watch a TV show, the season that ended, people normally like Theon from that point onwards. You know, after all the stuff with Ramsay Snow. People usually really like him then, because they kind of see it as like a... You know, he's been really punished for the person he was, and the things he's gone through are horrendous. And he realizes, and he's sad for the things he did. So people usually really like him after that, and if you read the books, it's even better. The writing's superb on his character there. But I always liked his character from the second book, The Clash of Kings, and the second season of the TV show. I actually always liked his character. I thought, especially on the TV show, actually, I think maybe because I watched the first season of the TV show, I liked his character. The actor does a good job of portraying him. And like I say, he's not exactly... I wouldn't want to be friends with him. And I think that's another problem here. When people talk about their favourite characters, people act like it's people they would like to meet or be friends with. And it's not. For me, it's interesting characters. Those are my favourite characters. And so Theon is one of them. And I always liked him. Because you had that problem, you know, when he goes back home to the Greyjoys, he gets to meet his whole family, he gets to meet this whole new area. I thought that was all really interesting. His reaction from his father was amazing. Again, on the TV show, actually, the actor did a great job. I think I've said that before. He did a great job of portraying how his father felt. We'll talk to her. And I thought it was a great dynamic. And a lot of people say, like, Theon's dumb because he chose his father over Rob, even though his father was an asshole to him. And I just feel like that's, you know, Theon's whole life, like, the only times you really hear from him before that, he's always going on about the fact he's the son from the Iron Isles. You know, he's the heir to Pike. You know, his whole life I feel like he's been building up to going home. That's been like his big thing. It's like, one day I can go home and I will be like the hero. Everyone will look up to me and go, oh my god, he's back. The prodigal son. And he goes home and his father's like, what the fuck are you? Who is this? Why are you just like a whore? And I think that really hit him hard. He just wanted to find a home. Because he didn't feel at home with the Starks. No, of course not. No, regent thing. Don't want a regent. Because I feel like he kind of felt he needed to go home and he was rejected. And he's got to choose between his friend and his father. And even though your father's an asshole, he's still your father. I mean, how's the saying go? Blood is thicker than water. You know, his whole future is designed around his father. So that's a tough choice. And it's a real, you can tell it's a tough choice for him. It wasn't something simple. It wasn't just a stupid kid making stupid decisions. He really could, I think he really thought that was a tough decision. I think the TV show, again, did actually a good job. Some of the added scenes actually on the TV show are really well done. It's like when he burns the letter. So he actually decides to write it out to warn Rob and then burns it. So he's made a decision to warn Rob, then he changes his mind. And I think that shows, that was a good example to show how he was thinking. And he fully went Ironborn. For his family, he had to take one side. You know, if you're going to take one side, you might as well go fully. I wouldn't call him stupid, but he made a bad choice. And he made many more bad choices. Miros Tyrell. He's then the Lord Commander. But yeah, many more mistakes he would make. But yeah, that's just my feelings on something like that. But let's say, that made me always like Theon, because I thought the character was complex. He had tough decisions to make. He seemed to be trying to do the best he could, but he was still making terrible decisions. He was kind of a car crash, which is interesting because Cersei's kind of similar. She's also kind of a car crash, but I just can't stand the character. I really just don't like that character at all. Not because I think she's a bad person. In fact, I think for many of the characters you can actually set, you know, there's usually a given reason why they do stuff. I just find it so bloody annoying to read about and everything. I just find it annoying. And I think I got that slightly, let's say, with Jon Snow. Because I just felt like some of the decisions he made and the way he did it was like, oh my god, are you kidding me? I don't know. That's just me. So I'm just blabbering. This has just turned into me basically blabbering on about random stuff from the TV show and books. Sorry if that's you hate that, but it's funny. After all I've been saying that, nothing has happened. We're 67 and he doesn't even look anywhere near close to dying. And he had a son, yes, Prince Caithan, and he's weak. Yay! Perfect. Just what I wanted for Christmas. Ah, Lord Paramount Gunther. Come a nice young man, he's married to a Lannister. Winter is coming. It's annoying me like I still can't think what I was trying to talk about before. Leather's son. He's having quite a few sons, Stannis. Good job. Good job.